Right, so for today's video, we're going to be talking about a situation where a TikToker has recently posted a video that has went viral calling out a restaurant. We've spoken about many topics like this before, but the difference here is that that video has actually resulted in the restaurant being shut down. There is some other factors as well as to why that happened. We're going to explain it throughout this video, but this is kind of where it all started. So there's a couple of people you need to be aware of here. The first one being a user called Sergio Garcia. And the restaurant you need to be aware of here is For Love in Milpitas, I believe it's pronounced. And as we can also see, it says that it's temporarily closed, which we're going to explain. So Sergio recently posted a video that didn't really have too much context added to it. Specifically, we didn't know the restaurant that he was outside of in this video. The caption of the video is in Spanish, so when I put it in a translator, it says, "I saw this at a restaurant near San Jose. This is how they defrost meat and then sell it as food." And I mean, yeah, I'll just let you watch it and you can see what's happened here. Okay, so just to add some quick context, he's got like some frozen ribs, right? And he's trying to break them and separate them. And the way he's doing this is by slamming them outside onto this like thin layer of cardboard, which, I mean, as we'll see, the meat doesn't even land on the cardboard most of the time. But second of all, he's like just standing on the cardboard as well with his like muddy shoes. You can literally see the footprints on the cardboard. But yeah, straight away, you can see why a video like this would blow up, and it resulted in a bunch of backlash for the restaurant. Yeah, I mean, look, it's just literally missed the cardboard. And again, into what looks to be like a muddy puddle. Is that what that is there? Now, interestingly, when we actually hear a response from the owner a little bit later on, there's actually quite a few different responses. One of which is that the owner believes that this employee actually sabotaged the restaurant, like, on purpose. But also what we later find out is that the owner has said that this employee is actually the dishwasher at this restaurant and shouldn't have even been handling the meat in the first place. Right, now, before we actually get any further with this video, I do actually want to tell you about today's sponsor, Aura. If you're like me and you've ever wondered how scammers are getting your phone number or why your inbox is flooded with spam, it's because data brokers are selling your information. I mean, here's an example of the information that data brokers can obtain. I'm talking address history, contact information, even your relatives' information. And that really is just a small example of the type of information that data brokers can obtain. It goes way further than that, and it's very worrying, especially considering that it's been sold to people who are willing to scam others. But luckily, today's sponsor Aura protects your information by identifying data brokers who are trying to sell your information. There are other services out there that offer this too, but they don't have as many features for the same price. I'm talking alerts if your personal info is found on the dark web, to real-time fraud alerts for credit and banking, and even a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and a bunch more. So if you want to protect your information online, why not give it a try for 14 days completely for free at aura.com/markie. And in those 2 weeks, Aura will get to work scrubbing your information off these data broker sites. So again, that's aura.com/markie, and it's free for 14 days. So thank you to Aura for sponsoring today's video, and without further ado, let's get back into it. Yeah, so he's like picking things off, like bits of dirt off the food, it looks like. And yeah, I mean, I think you get the point, right? The video carries on basically showing the same thing. And like I mentioned, there was no restaurant actually named in this video, but it really didn't take long for people to realize where this was. I actually found a Reddit post here of someone trying to figure out which restaurant this is. I'm not sure if this was genuinely where everyone found out about the restaurant, and then it kind of spiraled and more people found out, but this is what it says. "I saw this video posted several times and no one had answers. I'm a hobbyist geoguesser and I put my talents to work. I was able to find the restaurant. I apologize for the fallout that will ensue." So of course, as you can imagine, the restaurant starts getting a bunch of negative reviews to which the owners actually responded to. It's pretty much just a copy and paste of the same response, but this is what he had to say. "You have every right to be upset and I'm truly sorry for what happened. We never instructed any employee to handle food that way. The employee in the video is our dishwasher. He never supposed to handle food. We're still unsure about his action. We received a new shipment of beef ribs on that day. The beef ribs needed to be thawed before cutting and cleaning by our food handlers. I take full responsibility for the previous statement and the employee's behavior." The previous statement that he's referring to here, I don't know for 100%, what it is, but I'm pretty sure it'll be the next statement that we actually read through. I was shocked and angered by his actions in the video. I should have collected more information before commenting, and I'm sorry for the concern this incident has caused for the community. We're gathering more information and we'll give you more updates soon. So yeah, as for this previous statement, again, I'm not 100% sure what he's referring to, but there is a statement that was posted that has now been deleted, but has actually been shown in a bunch of articles at this point. For example, there's an article here from SFGate that says, in response to a number of negative reviews mentioning the short rib video, Full Love owner Uyen Tran, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, alleged sabotage. This employee collaborated with someone else to bring my restaurant down, Tran wrote on Full Love's Yelp page. We never instructed this employee to work this way. We will have the police investigate this matter. So yeah, as we can see, the owner is saying that the employee did this on purpose to sabotage the restaurant. Now, obviously, we don't know what's been going on behind the scenes, right? The fact that he's saying this makes me feel like maybe there has been a problem with the employee previously, or maybe there hasn't, and he's just found something out. We obviously don't know. But if it turns out to be true, which again, we don't know, but if it does turn out to be true that the employee did this on purpose to sabotage the restaurant, I mean, he's kind of succeeded, right? Because as we've kind of already spoke about, the restaurant has been temporarily closed. Now, also looking at an article on chron4.com, they mentioned that on the Instagram account for the restaurant, which has now been removed, they did actually release a statement. And the statement said, we are aware of the concerning videos circulating online. After a preliminary internal review, we have determined that the individual's actions were conducted in a personal capacity and in collaboration with an external party, contrary to our company's standards and without our knowledge or instruction. The restaurant went on to say it was treating the matter with the utmost seriousness and was fully cooperating with a police investigation. Now, also a reporter for NBC Bay Area has actually posted a few videos on Instagram about this. His name is Damien Trujillo. And the first video I wanted to take a look at here is that he mentions that he spoke to the person who posted the original video, Sergio.
Today, a follow-up to our report Thursday on the meat throwing story that went viral. Today, I spoke with the man who shot the video, Sergio Garcia. Sergio tells me that he was working on the roof in the adjacent building. He was doing maintenance on that roof. He heard a thumping sound, so he went out to look over to see what was going on, and he couldn't believe his eyes. So he decided to pull out his cell phone and record what was happening there at Pho Love Restaurant in Milpitas. He did not know that his video was going to go viral and is surprised at how much attention it has gotten.
Yeah, I mean, not only has it went viral on TikTok, right? So about 5.5 million views, but this is when like mainstream viral at this point. If you actually just search the restaurant's name on Google, there are so many articles about it. In fact, NBC Bay Area have been covering this a lot. Like if you actually go to their YouTube channel, they've been like interviewing locals.
I felt that it was very disturbing. Yes. And they call it love. Do you call it faux love? I said no.
And then again, there's another clip interviewing the locals.
Oh, gosh. Totally. And
They closed him down for a bit.
yeah. And it seemed like a nice place. Pretty bad, pretty sad.
Now, what's interesting about this place is, of course, there's a history of health inspections at the restaurant, like there is at all restaurants, and previously they were pretty good. I mean, we can see an inspection report here from September 2025, and we can see they passed with a score of 93. We can also see there was no major violations. There's a few minor violations that they mention, with things like bean sprouts in a container with water on the work table was measured at 49 degrees Fahrenheit, and then goes on to say that it should be at or below 41 degrees Fahrenheit. It also mentions that there's a lack of thermal labels or device to monitor sanitizing temperatures in the high temperature dishwasher, and then finally goes on to say that they observed the back door was left wide open. The back door, which I'm assuming is visible in the original video. But then following the video going viral, there was a new health inspection, and as we can see, the place card color and score is red NA. There's not even like a numbered score. And the difference with this inspection is that there's quite a few major violations. So it starts off by saying, inspector observations observed an employee actively washing a large pot at the 3-compartment sink without the use of sanitizer. When asked, employees did not know how to set up the sanitizing compartment. Facility currently lacks any sanitizer available for use. And then they list another observation here, and it says, observed vermin. And it says there was one live German cockroach in between the gaskets of the 3-door upright cooler. Cockroach abated during inspection. And then we actually go on to hear about this video, the one outside with the ribs. The employee confirmed that they were the person in the video and that the video was taken on Tuesday, the 18th of November 2025. Per employee, they were throwing the meat on the ground in an attempt to thaw it. Employee stated that this was a one-time occurrence as there was no room available on the food preparation counter where they would usually work with the meat. So they were temporarily working outside. Now, this is interesting, right? Because as we heard from the owner, apparently this employee shouldn't even be handling the meat, but he's saying here that usually he would do it in a different place. When they realized that the meat was falling out of the package and onto the ground, they saw that the meat had become contaminated and immediately discarded all of the meat. Employees stated that none of the meat seen in the video was cooked or served to the public. Now, there's obviously no real way for us to know that for a fact. Hopefully that is true though. And even on top of the stuff that we mentioned so far, there's a bunch of other stuff that's mentioned, like the facility lacks active food manager certification. Actively working employees lack food handler cards. Another inspector observation observed employees washing hands in the food preparation sink without the use of soap. Observed food, in brackets tray of raw chicken, stored directly on the floor of the food preparation area. Observed raw meat stored in plastic grocery bags. Food shall be stored in an approved food grade container. And then when we look at the overall comments, it says the facility is hereby closed by the department due to the lack of method for sanitization and evidence of vermin infestation. The facility is required to cease operations immediately and must remain closed until all major violations have been corrected. Corrective actions on the provided checklist are completed and an office hearing has been completed. So basically they need to fix all of these major violations before they can reopen. Now, since this inspection, we can see there's now a sign at the front of the store that says closed. Due to temporary suspension of health permit, this food facility is closed. The facility was found to have violations which constitute an immediate danger to public health or safety. As a result, the permit to operate has been temporarily suspended and this facility has been ordered to remain closed until a written reinstatement of permit has been issued. And finally, we can take a look at another video from Damien Trujillo, who was a reporter for NBC Bay Area, and he mentions that he actually spoke to the owner.
Restaurant. Well, the public health inspector got wind of what happened here at the Pho Love restaurant in Milpitas, and they red tagged the restaurant, citing some concerns. There's a red tag right there, citing some concerns, sanitary concerns, and also perhaps insects or rodents in the restaurant. The owner tells me he's devastated. He is a military veteran, and this is not the way he operates his restaurant. He thinks his employee should be held accountable for what he did, but he also takes full responsibility for what happened outside of Pho Love restaurant in Milpitas. We were here when public health inspectors arrived and shut down the restaurant. We'll get into that tonight on the news on NBC Bay Area and Telemundo, Canal 48. I'm Damien Trujillo.
So yeah, looking at all of this, maybe the restaurant would have been closed down without the original video, right? Because there seemed to be a lot of major health concerns. But I think something that's clear is that the restaurant has been shut down a lot faster due to the original video. From everything I'm seeing, the reason for the newest health inspection is because of that original video, right? It happened literally like the next day. It seems like the owner is determined to get the restaurant back open again. I think it's going to take a lot for their reputation to be rebuilt at this point. You can imagine that pretty much everyone in the area has probably heard about this at this point. But yeah, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. Now, with everything that we spoke about in today's video, I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below on the original video, and then also everything that we spoke about since with the newest inspection and the response to the situation. And yeah, if you did enjoy this video, please leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new, and until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.